Hey party people, what is up? I am in my kitchen right now. Not for like a good reason. I tried filming this earlier while I was cooking dinner, and then I kept getting interrupted by having to do things to cook dinner, and then I realized there were probably noises from like the food cooking. So I'm refilming it now, but I didn't feel like changing my filming setup. So, hey, how's it going? I'm going to tell you some stories about past roommates that I've had that were not very pleasant situations in the moment. If you don't know, I am a junior in college, so I've lived with multiple roommates, and actually these stories are about two different people, but only one of them was my actual roommate. The second person just lived down the hall from me. And if anyone who was my roommate sees this and thinks this might be about them, it's probably not. It's not about anyone I lived with this year or last year. And for my roommate who, I had two roommates freshman year, it's about one of them. The other one, you know it's not you. If you see this, you probably won't. But we both didn't like our other roommate, so it's not you. Okay, so yeah, let's just get started. So we're gonna start with the first story, which is about one of my roommates from freshman year. We're gonna call her Sarah. So Sarah ordered a printer for the room, but just for her. It wasn't like a printer for all of us to use. So she ordered a printer and had it shipped to one of those like Amazon locker things, and it was like off campus, but like right at the edge of campus, but we had to like go all the way across campus to get to that. And so when it arrived, she wanted us to go with her to pick it up. And so we all biked over there, not really thinking about the fact that, oh, I have to bring back a printer. It's kind of a big thing. And so she grabs the printer, doesn't fit in her bike basket. She tries to see if it'll fit in mine because I have baskets on the back of my bike instead of front like hers, and it might have been a little bit bigger, but it still doesn't fit. And our other roommate doesn't have a basket on her bike, so that wasn't an option. So Sarah figures out that she can balance the printer on top of the basket and hold it with one hand, and then hold her handlebar with the other hand. But since it's so heavy, it's really hard to balance, and she couldn't bike like that. And our other roommate was way shorter than us, so she was too short to ride this bike. I was about the same height as Sarah, and so Sarah asked me if I can try to bike. And so I like bike a few feet, and I'm able to bike those few feet, but it's really unwieldy, and I really felt like I was gonna fall over. As soon as Sarah sees that I can bike like a little bit though, she takes my bike and just takes off. And I'm stuck there like, wait, I can't bike all the way back. Like, I can kind of go on a straightaway, but as soon as I'm gonna like have to make a turn, I'm gonna fall over. And this isn't my printer. I'm never gonna use it. Like, I'm not taking your printer back for you. And so finally, when she realizes I'm not there, she like stops, and I think I was like yelling to her like, hey, stop. And either she stopped or our other roommate noticed I wasn't there and like made her stop. But finally she came back and switched bikes, and I think she like ended up having to walk back holding the printer on top of her bike basket like that. And then the like biggest part that bugged me was that she never even used the printer. I think she like couldn't figure out how to use it or something, or like couldn't connect her stuff to it, and so it just sat there taking up space. Like, at least it was like in her area, but still just sat there on the floor collecting dust and crumbs, and yeah, just never got used. So So the entire thing was useless and pointless. The second story about her, she was like kind of messy, and as I said, we had a very small room, and it was, I think, technically meant for 2 people, but our school decided that they wanted to stuff more people in the dorms, so they made us have 3 people in there. And so we didn't have like our own side of the room or anything. Like, we all just had like our own bed. I had a loft bed, they had bunk beds, and then my desk and Sarah's desk were under my bed, and our other roommate's desk was at the window. Like, there was not a lot of space, and we didn't have like our own spaces other than like our desk surface and like tiny area and like our bed. Like, there were even only 2 closets, so we had to share closet space. And so Sarah would just like leave her socks like on the floor, like right in front of my desk, like dirty socks, which is kind of gross and annoying. She had the top bunk, and my other roommate would tell me that she would like let her socks like fall down onto our other roommate's bed from the top, and like she'd take out her contacts and they'd fall onto our other roommate. So that was annoying. And then she was the first one to move out at the end of the year, and her mom was there to help her, and I come back to the room after they've moved out, or after she's moved out, and her desk is just surrounded by crumbs. There's all these little pieces of trash. She left like other random things, like some papers like on the side of her desk. And so like we couldn't leave the room like that because then we would get in trouble, and my other roommate had like a final and had to leave really quickly, so I ended up having to pick up all her little pieces of trash. And it wasn't like oh, like something big. It was like these little tiny like pieces of a wrapper or something that I had to like pick up each piece like meticulously, throw it away, and then I had to like vacuum up all her disgusting crumbs and then like get rid of like whatever else she had left because I didn't want it. There was like I don't even know, just all these random things that she could have just easily taken care of. And the thing that really made me mad was that her mom was there and seemed to think that it was okay to leave the room like that. And I was like, seriously, like, you're an adult, like, no wonder your daughter's like this. So yeah, that was my roommate freshman year. And so now, sophomore year, I lived in like a different building, and it was like, I was in this little hallway with like 8 other people. There were 2 like double rooms, so I was in a double with 1 other person, and then there were 4 single rooms and then a shared bathroom, and all of us in that little hallway were girls. And then there was like a bigger hallway kind of thing, like a walkway on the outside of our floor, with like that connected to other like rooms and stuff, and like that part was like co-ed, which doesn't really matter for this, but yeah, so our little hallway was just girls. And there was this girl down the hall who complained about a lot of things, and each little thing, like, I could understand being annoyed to a certain extent, but the thing is, she was the only person who ever complained, and it seemed like she was just always looking for something to complain about, because like at a certain point, like, you're living in a shared space to a certain extent, like, it's not going to be exactly the way you want it. You just have to like learn to get along with other people and deal with like the fact that there's other people around you that you can't control. So her first complaint was about noise. And sorry if they're squeaking, I have my foot resting on my chair and it's like, I'm not good at keeping it still. So her first complaint was about noise. And this I felt like was the most understandable, but still like a little extreme. So there was, as I said, like our little hallway, So we each had like a door to the hallway, and then there was like a door to the bathroom, and then a door to like the main outside walkway area. And the door to the outside was like one of those doors that kind of automatically closed, and it was really heavy. And so you couldn't like pull it closed because like the automatic part would like hold it back from being pulled too fast. Even though it was like supposed to automatically close nicely, I don't know if it was like a design error or what, but it would like make a loud noise when it closed on its own. And she kept complaining that people were slamming the door and that it was too loud and would wake her up and she couldn't fall back to sleep, and that she was like missing classes and stuff because she like wasn't getting enough sleep, which like that sucks. Like that's not good to be not getting sleep. But so it's understandable like to not like the door closing loud, especially like at night. But sometimes it's unavoidable. Like you would have to stand there and wait for it to like come close enough to like be able to pull it closed gently. And sometimes even if you did pull it, because like only like the last couple inches would you be able to like actually have control over the door and like, move it closed, sometimes it would still make a noise, and like there's nothing you can do about that. Okay, it's a really difficult door to make close gently. But she would still like send messages in like the floor's group chat, saying like, hey, like people need to stop slamming the door. And then people in like the whole group chat, because this was for the entire floor, not just our little hallway, were texting like, hey, we're not in your hallway, can you not text us all about this? And so she made a little chat for just the people in our hallway, and I don't know if when she would complain about it, people were just like making accidents and either forgetting, or like it just happened because you can't always control the door as much as you try, or if people just weren't reading the chats, which I don't know. And so she made this huge deal about that, and then she moved on to complaining about the light in the hallway. So there was a light in the hallway that I'm pretty sure was like supposed to stay on. We did have a switch so we could turn it off, but I'm pretty sure it's like supposed to stay on so like people can see the hallway when you're coming home at night or something. And so she was complaining that, or she posted a sign, I think, in the bathroom on the mirror saying like to turn the light off in the hallway during quiet hours, which is not a rule by the school. Like there's a rule that you have to be quiet during certain hours, but not a rule that you have to have the light in the hallway off. But her complaint was that she would wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, the light would be too bright, and she wouldn't be able to fall back to sleep. And so she like posted this sign telling people to turn it off, and then I think one night she had turned it off, and this other girl in our hallway came home like after dark because she had late classes or meetings or something, and she was fumbling like with her door key to like open her door, and apparently that was making too much noise for this girl. Oh yeah, I forgot to give her a name. We're gonna call her Bella. So it was making too much noise for Bella. Bella like apparently came out and told this girl like, hey, you're being too loud. She's like, sorry, I can't see. And then so I'm not gonna go into detail about this because that'll make the story way too long, but basically this other girl and I went to talk to our RA, which is like a student who lives on the floor and is like there to, it's like their job to like mediate things if there's an issue or something. And so we talked to her about that and like came up with a solution that like there was supposed to be a night light, but then like management or something was like, that's not allowed. And there was like this whole thing, and because this one girl in our hallway didn't like having the light on. So then Bella got annoyed at another thing. She got annoyed that the bathroom seat, like toilet seat, was being left up. This is where the whole thing about like our hall being only girls comes in, and it's like, yeah, like someone, whoever's like having their boyfriend over, like tell them to put the seat down after using the bathroom. I can understand being annoyed about the noise, and I can kind of understand the light. Like, yeah, it can be hard to fall asleep after like waking up and having light in your eyes. But really, you're gonna complain about the toilet seat being up, and it's not like there was a lid on the toilet. It's not like, and the toilets were in like stalls. It's not like it was right next to the sink or anything. And we didn't keep things in the stalls. It was like a regular public bathroom type of thing. It's not like you had stuff right next to it that you were worried were gonna fall in, and even if you did, there wasn't a lid, so the seat wasn't gonna change that. So I hate having toilet seats, or like toilet lids and seats up like in like a house or something, because I don't want like my toothbrush to fall into it. But you're in like a shared bathroom with a bunch of people, there's no lid. Like personally, I would always wipe the toilet seat down before I used it. So it's not like I was gonna just sit on it and fall into the toilet because the seat wasn't there, because I was going to like make sure it was there first. Because I was like, I don't know if there's like anything on the seat. I don't want to sit on that. But also, like the cleaners would sometimes, like there were people that would come and clean the bathrooms, and they would like leave the seat up after they cleaned. And her, like when she sent this message, she was like, yeah, like it wasn't the like cleaning staff because like the paper towels or whatever hadn't been replaced. And it's like, who cares? It could be left up by them anyways. So it just always assume the toilet seat might be up and put it down. It's not that hard to just put it down. Sure, it might be a tiny inconvenience, but is it really necessary to send a text to an entire group of people, like telling them to have their boyfriend or whoever they're having over, like put the seat down? Like, just put it down yourself. It's really not that big of a deal. You live with other people. This isn't like your apartment or your house or something. It's just like, just deal with it, okay? So that was the point where I realized like, oh, she just wants like probably attention. She probably just like wants some like drama. I don't know. But, or she's just really used to getting her own way and doesn't like when other people inconvenience her. Was not a fan of that girl. She seemed like very high maintenance and not very good at adapting to situations and living with other people. So yeah, I just thought those were some interesting stories about like difficult roommate, floor mate situations. And if you ever end up, if anyone watching this ever ends up having roommates, which probably will, maybe don't do some of these things. I hope this was entertaining and not too rambly. If you enjoyed, you can give this video a thumbs up. You can subscribe. You can watch some other story times from me. I'll link a playlist down below. Right now I think I only have one story time up, but might be adding more. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you want to see more from me. Yeah, comment if you have any roommate stories you want to share. Thanks for watching. Peace. Bye.